Alright, so here we are on Lesson 12, Day 2 Notes, and you should be on that extra sheet I handed out in class, kind of separate from your note packet. Alright, so today we're going to work on just graphing inequalities. So just some reminders that a closed dot is used to represent these symbols, so less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. And then an open dot is used to represent less than or greater than. Alright, so a closed dot is used whenever there's an equals to, because remember we can always include that number. Alright, so we've got some examples here. Example 1 is x is greater than 5. So I always want you to put 0 on, and then, and then the number. So I'm going to put 0 here, and then I'm going to put 5, which would be to the right. And I'm using an open circle. Please make sure I can tell that it's open, so make it nice and big. And x is greater than 5, so that means I'm shading everything bigger than 5, which would be to the right. And you're going to shade all the way into the arrow, so you can tell that it would keep going forever. Alright, the second example is x is less than 5, so I still have 0, and I still have 5, and I still have an open circle, but this time x is less than 5, so this time I'm shading everything to the left, and again all the way down to the arrow, and through it so you can tell that it's going on forever. Okay, so I hope you see the difference between those two. Shading disappeared. Alright, in the next example we have x is less than or equal to 5. So I still have 0, I still have 5, but now I'm going to have a closed circle on 5, so make sure that I can tell that it's closed. And I'm less than or equal to, so that means I'm shading to the left and all the way through the arrow again. Alright. And our last example on this page is x is greater than or equal to 5. So I still have my 0. My shading over here. I still have my 5. Again, a closed circle for that equal to part. And now that's greater than or equal to 5. So I'm going to shade everything off to the right, including that arrow. Alright. Let's go ahead and flip over to the back side. And now here we're going to have to do some solving and then some graphing. So number 1, I have negative 5x is greater than 25. So here I need to divide both sides by negative 5. Alright, so then x, remember I have to change my sign, is now less than negative 5. So when I go to graph, I'm going to have 0, and I'm going to have negative 5. And it's only less than, so it's an open circle. And I'm going to do everything to the left to represent the less than. So that's what your graph should look like. Alright, example 2, here we have 2x minus 8 is greater than or equal to negative 26. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So I get 2x is greater than or equal to negative 18. I divide by 2 on both sides, so I get x is greater than or equal to negative 9. Alright, even though my answer is negative, the sign did not change because we did not divide by a negative number. So now I'm going to have negative 9, and I'm going to have 0. But now I'm going to have a closed circle this time, because it's equal to, and it's everything greater than or equal to, so that means I'm shading everything to the right this time, everything bigger than negative 9. Okay? Here on negative 3, I have negative x over 2 is less than or equal to 4. So here I need to multiply both sides by negative 2. So I'm going to get x, I need to flip my sign, is greater than or equal to negative 8. So here I put negative 8, and I put 0. I'm going to have a closed circle for the equal to part, and everything greater than negative 8, so I'm going to shade off to the right again, and all the way through that arrow. Okay? Scroll down, we have 3 more examples here. First, we have 72 is less than or equal to negative x plus 5x. So here, I need to combine like terms, so I still have my 72 less than or equal to, and this would be 4x. And now I divide by 4, so I would get 18 is less than or equal to x. Alright, so remember, we always want to read it with the x first. So if it helps, you can flip this around. So it'd be x, and remember it's greater than or equal to 18. So remember to keep the sign facing the same symbol even if you switch the order. So I'm going to put 0, and I'm going to put 18. And I'm going to have a closed circle on the 18 for the greater than or equal to. And now because it's greater than, I'm shading everything to the right. Alright? So if that helps you to flip that around, you may do that as long as the sign is still facing the right direction. Alright, next we have -3 is less than or equal to x over 6 plus 1. So first I need to subtract 1 from both sides. So I have -4 is less than or equal to x over 6. Now I multiply by 6 on both sides. So I get -24 is less than or equal to x. So again, if you need to flip the order, this would be x is greater than or equal to -24. So I'm going to have -24. I'm going to have 0. Alright, I'm going to have a closed circle. And now everything greater than or equal to. So that means I am shading everything to the right. Alright, and then our last one here, we have 9 times the quantity x plus 1 is greater than or equal to -45. So I have to distribute, so I'll have 9x plus 9 is greater than or equal to -45. Subtract 9 from both sides. So I have 9x is greater than or equal to -54. Divide by 9. So I get x is greater than or equal to -6. So I put -6, I put my 0. I will have a closed circle here. And now I want everything greater than or equal to, so now I'm going to shade everything to the right of -6 here. And that is our graph. Alright, so if you have any questions, especially about maybe number 4 and number 5, bring those to class tomorrow, and then we will do some more practice all together.